Dear friends, we are about to enter into Shabbat, a special Shabbat where we start reading the fourth book of the Torah, Bamidbar, literally meaning in the desert. In English, it's referred to as the book of Numbers. From Shabbat, we go into the holiday of Shavuot on Sunday night. So we're entering into a very special few days. And I want to share with you a thought going into the Shabbat and what we can take away from it. And that is that the Torah itself, which we celebrate in the holiday of Shavuot, was given in the desert. Now, God could have chosen many other places to give the Torah, places a little bit nicer than the desert. You know, sometimes people make events happen in the desert, but they got to really spend so much time and money to dress it up and to make us believe it's nicer than the desert. Why would God give the Torah in the desert? Why didn't He choose a nice, physically beautiful place? You know, like we go to a resort, people go to conferences, they want to go to somewhere nice, inviting, that just the surroundings raise your spirits up. The desert is desolate and empty. Why did God give the Torah in the desert? Why didn't He wait till we came to land, of civilized land, to give us the Torah, a beautiful place? And our sages teach us that there's a very powerful lesson in the fact that God gave us the Torah in the desert, and that is that desert is as of yet uninhabited land. But as we see today, around us, look in Israel today. If you go to Israel, they've taken the desert, they made it blossom, they made it bloom. They built communities and entire towns in the desert. You look in America and other places, what they've done to the desert. So the desert is desolate. But the desert is the place that if you put in the right amount of effort and you focus and try to make it bloom, you can even make a desert bloom. And this is really something that we all have to remember about Torah. Torah has the same laws for all of us. We all keep the same exact commandments. Even Moses did the same tefillin we did. Obviously, maybe his thoughts were a lot loftier, but all the mitzvahs are the same Shabbat, the same holiday. We do all the mitzvahs that are the same. So sometimes we think we become religious, we become a cookie cutter. We become like everyone else. We're cloned like everyone else. There's no individuality, there's no personality, and the Torah says no. I'm giving the Torah in the desert because each one of you is like an empty canvas. And you take the Torah and you fill in the canvas, it becomes your canvas. Sure, we all use the same Torah, but no two people think alike. No two people have the same exact character. The Torah gets painted through us and it becomes our own personal journey. Every one of us, every Jew from the beginning of time, has the ability and can and has created their own canvas, their own journey, has planted and made the desert bloom, hopefully, through their way they do Torah mitzvahs, their commitment, the ones that are very important and special to them, the uniqueness that they bring in their observance of mitzvahs. And you look at so many people, and you see how each one, when even they do a Friday night Shabbat, how everyone brings their little touch, that though we're doing the same thing, the same prayers and the same songs and the same grace after meals, and maybe even the similar dishes, but everyone brings their own touch that makes it with their signature. So the Torah was given in the desert because we have to make our desert bloom. Don't rely on someone else. Rely on yourself. God is waiting to see your painting, your desert blooming. That's why we always read the Torah portion of Bamidbar, which means desert, before Shavuot, right before, right after. Because the Jews were in the desert for 40 years. This became the defining moments of when we became a nation. When we came into Israel, we were already a nation. But in the desert, we were formed into a nation. We were formed into a people, individually and collectively as well. And though we, thank God, live in a civilized place, but spiritually we're all born with the empty canvas. And we're going to paint that canvas. We're going to create that picture. We're going to create the blooming desert of our desert. And I wish all of you to have lots of success. So pay attention this Shabbat, but more importantly, Shavuot, starting Sunday night to Tuesday night. celebrate the holiday, even if you never did it before, because unfortunately many Jews are not very familiar with Shavuot. The Rebbe put it on the map, and we encourage every one of you to hear the Ten Commandments. Even in COVID, there's safe ways to do it. We're doing it outdoors here at Chabad. You have to register at chabadtmr.com backslash Shavuot, Shavuot, but celebrate the holiday in some way. Make it happen in a beautiful way for you. And when you do that, you will find that you have the strength, you have the courage, and you have that creativity and that uniqueness to make your desert bloom in a unique way. And when you do it, God will give you success. So God bless you all. We love you all. Shabbat Shalom. Candlelighting time in Montreal for Shabbat at 7:59 p.m.